It's taken us more than 9 months to get here from the start of the season in Doha in late February. We've traveled the globe to reach this point, the final day of the season, the closing night of the 2025 season. A sold-out O2 Arena in Prague with millions of euros on the line, and the 6 best teams from the GC playoffs all going head-to-head tonight in a grueling 2-round GCL Super Cup final. For the thousands in attendance who will be jumping out of their seats tonight for the home team, that is the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team. It is going to be the leading factor of excitement here tonight when the Prague Lions come out a little bit later on today. Niels Braunseels, Peter de Vos and Thibaut Spitz will be carrying that Prague Lions flag with them, along with the sold-out arena here in Prague. There is no better way then to start the show representing the Prague Lions than the wonderful Anna Kellnerova, who comes to join us in the studio. Anna, I imagine on a night like this, for the home fans who have watched a GCL Super Cup quarterfinal success, they've watched success in the semi-final, to bring it home tonight on a final, this must be an almost near fairy tale week for you thus far, right?
It is. It's a dream come true, and the week was very long. We started very nervous on Thursday because the qualification was extremely difficult, and the number of penalties was very, very close. So we were stressing on Thursday. Then Friday, I think the boys jumped incredible rounds and managed to qualify us very well into the final. So today we have to go again.
We're going to talk about the boys in a few moments' time, but I actually want to talk about the event. I want to talk about the city, because unlike all the other stages that happen throughout the year, we often talk about home stages and we talk about those teams that host us on those home stages. This is quite like anything else, quite unlike anything else. And from your perspective, how much deeper does that go then for the Prague Lions to host this stage? But this is beyond the arena, it's beyond the team, it goes into the city, doesn't it? This is so much more than the city of Prague than it is just for show jumping for the Czech Republic, isn't it?
It really is. I have to say the development over the last 5, 6, 7 years is incredible. The show has moved on, you know, from a starting point to really international, incredible show event of the year. Also, you can see it with the fans. You know, we've started with a small group of supporters, and we've been able to sell out O2 Arena. So I have to say the development has been absolutely incredible, and it makes us very, very happy.
And I believe you may or may not have a rough number of fans that we're expecting throughout the entire week. What does that number look like roughly? Are you able to share that?
Well, we are hoping to reach 40,000 people coming to this show.
Over 40,000 fans making their way through the gates throughout this week to watch each and every single stage of the GC playoffs as we return to Prague in 2025. Here now on the final day with the 6 best teams of the week all going head-to-head tonight. Talk to me about Niels, talk to me about Peter and Thibaut and Fernando as well. What have the conversations been like overnight? What have the conversations been like this morning? What have you been saying to them? What has been going in and around the group?
Well, we have, been talking and spending time together and trying to organize the whole week, really seeing who's in top form, which horses are doing well. What is great with our team is that we really have an agreement of who should be jumping, which horses should be jumping. It's really, I have to say, an incredible team spirit where we don't argue, but we come to a conclusion. All of us, not me, but all the boys together, and I think that's what makes us very strong, and that's what makes us fight for each other.
How difficult is a decision like that? Because I imagine when you sit down with the paper, you realize that you have experienced riders, you have fantastic horses, and I'm pretty sure whichever way you could go would feel very justified. How difficult is it in your job to be able to ultimately sit down and say, right, well, this is going to be the starting lineup? How much does that keep you up at night?
I have to say that is an incredibly difficult point, but also a point which makes us very lucky. The fact that we have 4 riders here and any one of them can go into the final today and perform incredibly is a great blessing that we have, but also, like you said, makes it a difficult choice. But it is like I said before, I do not in the end, let's say, make the final decision. I want all of us to reach the decision together, because we are a team in the end, and we all have to believe in the decision, and it can't be coming from one person individually.
Having watched what you saw in the GCL Super Cup quarterfinal, qualifying into the semi-final, what are you thinking is going to come out today? What's the expectation of what may be designed here? The course walk will open up a little bit later. Having known this show, known this area, known the arena, what are you thinking might be delivered here tonight?
Well, the semi-final was extremely difficult. We could see that with the number of penalty points that the teams have accumulated over the three riders that they had, which I do not think will in the end affect the way Uliana will build the course tonight. We know that the Prague playoffs is always extremely difficult, and it's always extremely difficult on the last day, and that's exactly what we're all expecting for him to do.
Maybe a message to the home fans that will all be flying their flags and shouting for the Prague Lions today. Maybe a closing message for them that have all come out today.
For sure, I would like to say, not just for me, but for the whole team, thank you so much for supporting us. We absolutely love the atmosphere, we love the support, and we will really try our best for you and to make you proud.
Best of luck for later today. Niels Brauncius, Peter de Vos and Thibaut Spitz will be coming out later on today. They will be third out the gate. Origi, Casual DV and Impress K is the lineup set up for round one for the Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team. Is there a fairy tale finish for the Prague Lions here in the GCL Super Cup final? We'll find out in a couple of hours' time. Anna Kolnarova, thank you very much and best of luck. Let's reflect very quickly before we dive too deep into the final as to what took place in the previous round. This is a flashback to the GCL Super Cup semi-finals.
The air is very thin at the top of the mount that is Mount Everest of World Show Jumping, the GCL Super Cup semi-final. We welcome you to the GC Prague playoffs. Your Kempire, get us into action, powered by Lugano Diamond. This man has had a quite outstanding season. He's up to number 2 in the world. He's won twice on the Longines Global Champions Tour, the Grand Prix in Shanghai and Ramator Sanchbay, but
really, I can say that the Longines fence he had down was possibly not the most difficult. Yeah, it's tough out there.
The next to come, Bars and Cosmopolitans, we welcome forward. Up out over the top of 6 at 160, gave it feet to spare. Oh no, Rodrigo Castella Almeida turned down to the last fence to post the best score in the GCL Super Cup semi-final in Prague, and there it is. It's 1 down, 8B goes. The home team, we welcome.
Are you looking at the clock?
Yes, I am. Yeah. He's got 10 seconds. He won't be quick at the buzzer. They're going to qualify for the finals right here, right now.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, mistake comes late. The penultimate goes. It does mean Bars Cosmopolitans are the first team to qualify. We know that. That is now written in stone. We now welcome in the winners of the quarterfinals, Rome Gladiators. This man's team knows no real pressure, James, but always an early mistake. Now time is critical.
Yeah, it's an early one, 3B. Coming in on the 7, or leaning across it. That makes this a bit of a wiggly line. He's getting very close to the wing coming in.
Always close on the clock. Oh, just outside. Riesenbeck International.
Yeah, he rode the outside line there to the E15 fence. He did the 9 strides. It is costly on the time, that's the only thing.
Jump one of these fences clear, and Riesenbeck International's dream of a double pair of Super Cup final wins is on, and there it is. Winners of the GCL Super Cup final in 2019. The anchorman is a formidable one. World number 3, Ben Mayer, is in great shape. Clearly the world number 3.
Yeah, he's such a safe pair of hands. You just expect Ben to do it right. Oh! Well, there's the drama. And you expect Ben to do it right, and that's absolutely something you would never, ever imagine.
Can Stars, powered by Iron Dames, welcome forward. The pressure is firmly applied to Katrin Eckermann's seasoned shoulders because she must be quick. Rome Gladiators, we know, will it be fast with the likes of Galliano and Fredriksson?
Because she got away with it.
Iron Dames do. Blue PS.
And again.
But it is all happening. Who will believe it? Ben Mayer out of the saddle 20 minutes ago, and now Katrin Eckermann on the sand as well. The last team of the GCL Super Cup semi-final on this highly dramatic night in Prague. We welcome.
Such a beautiful horse to watch. Just the last. Oh, lovely.
There it is. Kept his cool, kept his composure perfectly, and they will be the last team to qualify.
It wasn't comfortable, it wasn't easy for Valkenswaard United, the 2025 GCL champions, but they do scrape into the GCL Super Cup final. They will be first to go. Marcus Eining, Hans-Dieter Dreyer, and the Golden Boy, Gilles Thomas and Hermitage Cologne will open up the opening round of tonight's GCL Super Cup final. We'll take you through the start list a little bit later on. We'll talk to you and remind you of the qualified teams for tonight's competition. But before we get into more detail, let's meet the teams. Let's welcome the teams that will be competing in tonight's incredible class. On the final night of the 2025 Global Champions League season, let's go behind the curtain with Dan Strange, who takes us through the Walk of Champions.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, we're here in the tunnel ahead of the Walk of Champions. We've got the champions from 2023. I'm not going to interrupt them because Riesenbeck International, Marco, Philip and Max are just having a team talk. Christian Kukuk just off over to our left-hand side as well. Basel Cosmopolitans just here. Sasha Nygaard looking on, ready for their debut in a GCL Super Cup final. The home team, Thibaut Spitz and the Prague Lions. Fourth is the best ever finish. Do you think tonight you can get on the podium?
Yeah, we'll definitely try to make it happen. That's what we'll do.
Looking forward to riding in front of this amazing home crowd?
Yes, it's been great already all week, but today it's what we came here for this week.
Thibaut, best of luck. Jali Kass, youngest rider within any roster, the Rome Gladiator. How confident, Jali, are the Rome Gladiators tonight?
I believe we can make something special. They did an amazing job these 2 days, and fingers crossed for tonight.
Thanks, Jali, Peder, Yuri and Emanuele just behind Jali there. Riding for the Rome Gladiators, the first time they've ever made a final in a GCL Super Cup. Of course, the Walk of Champions is where the 6 teams that make the GCL Super Cup final will walk out into the O2 Arena. Valkenswaard United have got Marcus Eining just here. Good luck tonight, Marcus. Won, of course, the Global Champions League championship this year. Gilles Thomas so successful, Hans-Dieter Dreyer as well. Can they do what Riesenbeck International did in 2023 and actually do the double, do the GCL Championship and the GCL Super Cup Championship as well? It's time for the 6 teams in the GCL Super Cup final to be introduced to the audience here at the O2 Arena at the GC Prague Playoffs 2025. These are the 6 best teams. They will take their place in the GCL Super Cup final, jumping 2 rounds of intense, excellent show jumping action. It's the Walk of Champions.
We welcome Valkenswaard United come forward. They've been second 3 times in the Super Cup final, 2018 inaugural edition, 2022 and 2023. They are the season's champions this year. They've done that actually now 3 times. But still, the GCL Super Cup final win has eluded them. This year they won in Madrid, leg 4, leg 6, Ramator Saint-Tropez, leg 8, Monaco and Riyadh finals. All Valkenswaard United wins. We welcome Valkenswaard United into the O2 Arena. They'll be the first team to jump this afternoon. And it is Marcus Eining who leads them into battle for Germany. Then comes Hans-Dieter Dreyer for Germany. And the season champion, Gilles Thomas for Belgium. And Great Britain, superb. John Whittaker. John not starting this afternoon. He may, of course, come into their lineup for the second round. We'll wait and see. They are the team for Valkenswaard United's first round this afternoon. Good luck to them. Riesenbeck actually in 2023 won the season championship and the GCL Super Cup final. So that is what Valkenswaard United will try and match this afternoon. Team 2, we welcome. They won the quarterfinals. It is Rome Gladiators, powered by Cavalleria Toscana. They keep the same roster as for the semi-finals. Course change actually though for Yuri Mansour, but Emanuele Gaudiano leads them in. Yuri Mansour for Brazil, Peder Fredriksson into their team from Sweden. And the youngest here this week is 17 years of age only, Israel's Jali Kass. We welcome Rome Gladiators. They're 14th in the season's final standing, so this is the redemption tale as they try and write a difficult season for them with a brilliant last performance here at the GC Prague playoffs. Their highlight of the season was second at leg 15 in Rabat in Morocco, the penultimate leg this year. The third team we welcome in, it is the home team. Jumped one of only 2 clears in the quarterfinals to qualify in second place into the semis. They yet have a podium as a team in the GCL Super Cup final. They were 4th last year. They've had a string of 4th places, actually. They try and get their first win this afternoon. And we welcome in the Prague Lions, powered by Czech Equestrian team. 5th in the season's final standings with 2 wins, leg 10 in Valkenswaard and leg 13 in Vienna. Led in by Niels Brancels from Belgium. Peter de Vos for Belgium at the back of the pack. It's Fernando Martinez Sommer for Mexico. And the young Belgian rising star, Thibaut Spitz. Prague Lions, powered by Czech Equestrian team, will have the home support. Unquestionably, they certainly look like a strong presence this afternoon. Good luck to them.
Now, please welcome New York Empire, powered by Lugano.
The next team we welcome, they've never won the GCL Super Cup final or podiumed. They came into the semis by the skin of their teeth out of a hard-fought quarter-final, but they look very impressive on paper. It is New York Empire, powered by Lugano Diamonds, Georgina Bloomberg's team, led in by Ireland's Bertram Allen. Ireland's Dennis Lynch is the second we see. Then comes Great Britain's world number 2, Scott Brash, third in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix last night, with Hello Chidora Lady behind Simon D'Alestra and Abdul Said. And Mikey Pender, Mikey from Ireland, not starting in the first round of the GCL Super Cup final this afternoon. They were 9th in the final season standings, 3rd at leg 3 in Shanghai in China was their season highlights. And Bertram Allen actually has already won the GCL Super Cup final. That was back in 2022 with Miami Celtics. Then the brand new team this year, delighted to qualify for their first GCL Super Cup final as a new outfit this year. Team owned by Thomas Straumann and managed by Andreas Sko, led in by Molomedolo Zanotelli from Brazil, Zasha Nygaard from Denmark, Andreas Sko, Denmark. And the medical transfer comes in place of Jana Vargas, who had a late injury prior to the playoffs. That is the very skilled Portuguese rider, Rodrigo Gesteda Almeida. Marlon's had a great pair of clear rounds with Catalan both clear in the quarters and the semis. And Rodrigo, a clear and a 4 penalty round. He's more than done his bit for Basel Cosmopolitans, a team that he joined late in the run-up to the GC Prague playoffs. Good luck to the brand new team this afternoon.
And 16 is entering the arena. Please welcome
the final team we welcome try and make history this afternoon to become the first team to win 2 GCL Super Cup finals. They won it in 2023. We welcome Riesenbeck International. They're 4th in the season final standings this year. No win though, anomalously. They're second twice in Riesenbeck and in Vienna, legs 11 and 13 respectively. And they feature an unchanged lineup from the semis. It is Marco Kutscher, Philip Weishaupt, who's won this before in 2023. Christian Kuckuck, who also was part of that win in 2023, and the first timer. He jumped the only clear for them actually in the semi-finals. That was Max Weishaupt and Zucchero HV. Riesenbeck International trying to write history this afternoon to become the first team ever in our history to win this GCL Super Cup final on 2 occasions. Good luck to them.
Global Champions League Super Cup final. Give them a round of applause.
So those are the 6 teams we'll welcome into the first round of the GCL Super Cup final, the €6.5 million final showdown of what has been an epic GCL season. These are the teams that will face up against each other. The horsepower is, of course, sensational. The rider power is otherworldly. And we can't wait for the first round to get underway this afternoon. It's going to be epic. Peter Frederiksen, Yuri Mansour, Emanuele Gaudiano looking for the win for Rome Gladiators. And Riesbeck International, they are one of the favourite teams this afternoon for the victory. It is a simply huge afternoon. €6.5 million, the prize purse. Vakasvad United trying to win the Super Cup final for the very first time this afternoon. The start time, to remind you, is 3:40 p.m. here, local time 1540 hours. In 1 hour and 10 minutes, we'll be underway. Good luck to the home team. They'll have the 15,000 capacity crowd here right behind them. Ilana Vetsani has built some massive courses already, and we're expecting a true monster this afternoon. It'll get even bigger in round 2, of course.
As you can see, on Thursday, 8 teams qualified for
that is a trophy they battle for. Just to explain the format, we had 17 teams start the GCL 2025 season. The lowest position in these season standings was Paris Panthers in 17th, did not qualify. We dropped the lowest team, so 16 teams qualified. The top 4 teams were given a bye through the quarterfinals. So the 12 teams battled, we lost 4 of them. So the 8 best teams of the quarters met the 4 bide teams, the best 4 of the season, into semis, and then the huge cut with 50%. Just 6 of the 12 that started the semi-finals have made it through to the GCL Super Cup finals, and these are the 6 teams that were the best of the semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the course designer Liana Vazani and his team will now prepare the course for the first round of the 2025 Global Champions League Super Cup final. The course
sense of occasion, a real purpose about the riders. This is a different game face you'll see this afternoon. There will be furrowed brows, stern looks, and serious walks out to the course walk, which will be underway in not long at all. As we wait to see what unfolds from Ilana Vetsani's track this afternoon, we're expecting something very, very big. And as I say, €2.5 million, the prize purse for the winners, 1.5 million the runners-up paycheck, and 1 million in third, all the way down to the 6th place team, guaranteed actually all of the teams €300,000 or more, so basically $1/3 is the lowest cash prize this afternoon. It's incredible. So the 6 teams will go back now and regroup, prepare their horses, chat to their grooms, have tactical and strategic team discussions to plan their strategy for this afternoon's huge affair. Of course, the strategy is fairly straightforward. Jump as many clear rounds as you can, and in round 2 be as quick as possible, in addition to having those clear rounds. Good luck to Rodrigo Castera. Almeida, thumbs up from him. That is what is at stake, the honour of the trophy for the GCL Super Cup final. We've had a sensational week of sport. It's been a week of unpredictability. 11 clears in the first round in the Longines Global Championships Super Grand Prix yesterday. Nobody expected that. And no clears at the end of the second round. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first round will be underway at 3:40 p.m. Until then, good afternoon. We'll see you a little bit later.
It's so difficult to quantify the magnitude of this O2 Arena, to quantify just how big, how unique, and how special this is if you compare it to any other horse show in the world. We refer to this as the Super Bowl of show jumping. As Ed Holloway spoke about there from the prize money, we spoke about the scope. We had Anna Kellner-Rover in here earlier telling us that over 40,000 people will come through the turnstiles from the start of the GC playoffs until the end of tonight. The sheer magnitude and scope of this event is what makes it unlike anything else. And that brings us to the point of a GCL Super Cup final. It brings us to the point of the 6 best teams of the week all going head-to-head tonight for a shot of that enormous prize money and for the right to be called the Super Cup champions for 2025. But the format is very different to anything you would have seen over the Global Champions League season. It is not going to be normal to what you know. Let's take a moment to explain to you exactly what it's going to look like today with a GCL Super Cup final explainer. The final of the Global Champions League Super Cup features the best 6 teams that qualified from the semi-final. This time, it's a 2-round competition with still 3 riders on each team and every result counting. The best team from the semi-final is last to go in the first round. But the best team in the first round will be last to go in the second round, sitting in pole position. Oh, and did I mention, there's a €10 million prize pool up for grabs. How that number of €10 million gets slapped across the screen, it's inconceivable money. If you think that there are €10 million on the table tonight, it's just something that is difficult to wrap your head around. And we've been making this recurring theme, and it truly just speaks about the incredible nature of a GCL Super Cup and what brings you through to a final. We have explained the competition. We have seen the Walk of Champions. Let's remind you then of the qualified teams that will be coming out today. As Falconswart United, the 2025 GCL season champions, will be first to go in tonight's final. They had a difficult GCL Super Cup semi-final. They will be first to go, followed by the Rome Gladiators, powered by Cavalleria Toscana. Prague Lions, the home team, powered by the Czech Equestrian team, will be third. New York Empire, powered by Lugano, will be next to go. Basel Cosmopolitans, making their GCL Super Cup debut, now find themselves in a final. Andrea Scau, Marlon Mardolo, Zanotelli and Rodrigo Almeida will come up for Basel. And then the final team to go in GCL Round 1, Razorback International, powered by Horse Gym. Christian Kukuk, Max Weishout and Philip Weishout on Checker, Zucchero and Oreo will be last to go in that first round. What is a decent score to take into that GCL Super Cup final second round? Do we expect teams to need to be triple clear to stand a chance? Can they afford fences down? How many fences can go down and still keep them in the lead? That's what makes this 2-round competition so incredibly intriguing. We talked about the fact that Basel Cosmopolitans make their GCL Super Cup debut and that they find themselves in a final. A very late call-up to Rodrigo Almeida for the Basel Cosmopolitans, and somehow he has now helped his team through to tonight's final. We took a moment to sit down with the Portuguese rider to get his thoughts on how things have gone in Prague this week.
So far, it's a wonderful week. First of all, I wish best and quick recover to Jano Wagers, and thank you for the team for this amazing opportunity. But yeah, it's been fantastic. It's such a great team, and I feel very good inside. We have a very good connection with each other. We know each other for long, so it makes things easier, and I think we are all in great shape as we showed this weekend. So yeah, I'm very happy with the results we have been achieving.
This pair are capable of a clear round here. It's a huge course, but we've seen there Rodrigo Almeida turns down to the last fence to post the best score in the GCL Super Cup semi-final in Prague. And there it is. It's 1 down, 8B goes.
You qualified for the final, but how did you see the overall performance in the semi-final?
Yeah, I think, of course, we felt a bit the pressure. It was a very important day 2. Everything could happen, but yeah. We have some very good horses, and we are in great shape. So I think we were just focused, and we make it happen. It was good that I stepped in 2 years ago in this kind of stages, because then the pressure stays a little bit lower. I knew already with what kind of fences I will count and the level of the sport, so it makes me a little bit more in the comfort zone, so it makes things easier. I have at the moment a very, very good mare, which I've having some very good results during the year, and that makes things easier because I have a full trust, and we build a very strong partnership from a young age, so that makes things easier for me. And yeah, 2 years ago I had an experienced horse. He was just 9 years old. It was the first big classes he has been done. So yeah, this year I feel way stronger.
L is your mare. What is it that Dennis Flannelly, your coach, has worked on with the two of you to prepare you for this week?
Yeah, I think me and Dennis, we have a very, very strong connection. He brings all the positive energy to the show, and he knows me very good for already a couple of years. My horse as well. We have been training and polishing some small details, and those are the ones that are making the difference and that are letting me do so good and having so good results this year.
You jumped last in the quarterfinal. You've jumped last for the team in the semi-final. Is it the same strategy come the GCL Super Cup final on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we're going to keep the same strategy. I will try to be 100% focused and do my best, and I know I can rely on my superstar mare, so I just going to try to focus on myself, and we're going to try to make it happen. For sure, very proud, and I'm very happy with this opportunity, but I stay with my feet on the ground, and I try to just do my work and do my job, and I think when I can be focused, then the result will come. But I think Andres and Marlon, they are two top riders, and we have two top horses as well, so I just try to do the same and try to focus, and then we're going to try to deliver 3 clear rounds and hopefully celebrating a fantastic result.
The thoughts of Rodrigo Almeida from the Basel Cosmopolitans. You see that smile on his face? What it means to be in a GCL Super Cup final, what it means to be competing for a share of 10 million euros by the end of the night, to be competing in this 1m60 GCL class. It is going to be an outstanding night, and we are looking forward to guiding you through it from start to finish. As you can see, the course walk is officially underway behind me. The riders, the owners, the sponsors, everybody that is involved in this is now busy inside the O2 Arena, and they are all busy completing their course walk, making sure that every single stride is accounted for, trying to see where is going to be the best line, what is going to be a long 5, is it going to be a short 6, what is the situation? That is the moment where all of these riders, all of their trainers are trying to work out the best approach to what has been set up by Iuliana Vizzani here tonight. We'll get some thoughts as well from our commentators, FYI, James Fisher, Ed Holloway. They'll be joining us in a few moments' time. Let's bring them into the studio shortly, but for now, let's remind you of the start list. This is what the GCL Super Cup final looks like from start to finish in GCL Round 1. We will start with Valkenswaard United, the 2025 GCL season champions, will be first in the ring. Golden Boy, Gilles Thomas, Marcus Eding and Hans-Dieter Dreyer will be the first in the ring. Rome Gladiators will follow. They've been the surprise package of the 2025 GCL Super Cup. Emanuele Gardiano, Yuri Mansour and Peter Fredriksson. Prague Lions, powered by the Czech equestrian team of Niels Braunsiels, Peter de Vos and Thibaut Spitz will follow shortly after. New York Empire, powered by Lugano, Dennis Lynch, Bertram Allen on Pacino Almiro, by the way, and Scott Brash on the incredible Hello Jefferson will follow shortly after that. It takes us to Basel Cosmopolitans on debut. Andrea Skau, Marlon Modolo Zanotelli, and as we mentioned, Rodrigo Almeida. And finally, Razorback International of Christian Kukuk, Max Weishout, and the older brother, Philip Weishout, will be last to go. That is the start list for tonight's GCL Super Cup final first round. James Fisher and Ed Holloway to my right, our commentators, who'll be guiding you through the classes later on tonight. Gentlemen, welcome. Before we start about tonight, before we talk about what we expect in start list and what you just walked, Ed, it's the first GCL Super Cup for you. Talk to me about your week in Prague, what it's been like. We talk about the magnitude of this all, but give me your honest perspective on what kind of a spectacle we're talking about here.
Yeah, this is one of the best horse shows in the world, clearly, Mark. The atmosphere's been electric. It's a huge amphitheatre, this O2 Arena. It's been packed. I mean, last night's crowd was enormous. The show that goes on outside of the classes is all mesmerising. The detail, the finesse, the sheer sort of brilliance and magnitude of the shows around are really impressive. And the sport's been totally unexpected. We've had so many things happen that we didn't expect to happen. Yeah, we lost the Cannes Stars, we lost the Shanghai Swans, we said goodbye to Stockholm Hearts.
All in very dramatic fashion, as well.
And then last night, 11 clears in the first round of the Longines Global Championship Super Grand Prix. We didn't expect 11 for a moment, but then to have no double clears at the end of the class again was unexpected. So it's been a week of the unexpected. I've loved it, it's been amazing, and I can't wait to see what the final act will bring.
James, there's been these surprises that Ed's referring to, because one would imagine that the Cannes Stars would be here, the Shanghai Swans with Christian, with Max, with Ben should be here. But take nothing away from the Rome Gladiators that are punching above their weights, for the Prague Lions, what it means for the crowd to have the home team here. It might not be the giant traditional stars, but this makes for a really intriguing lineup, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was gunning for the Prague Lions. You know, on the first time, I think they had a great strong team, and they deserve to be in there. But with the drama, I expected the unexpected here. I've been here before. Things happen in Prague where you don't see anywhere else. Amazing prize money, the pressure, and the courses that Ulia Vasani has built here. He's absolutely a master at this, and he's the conductor of the drama. And it's not easy when you've got this much quality and so much at stake to create these courses like this. And it was just wonderful last night, you know, all those clears and then no clears. In fact, the one that didn't go clear in the first round was the only one that jumped clear in the second round. I mean, we could not even predict the amount of clears. We got it way wrong in the first instance.
Well, that's it. That balancing
and we then to say anything else is like, hey, let's just watch this.
That balancing act is so tricky because he needs to dial it up to test the best riders in the world, but he can't blow it out either. So there's that very, very thin line, that sweet spot that he needs to try and find every single night. You've just finished a walk. I know it was a few moments ago. Give me your opening thoughts on what you were just able to walk around here with, James.
Yeah, it's sort of 160, 165. There's a little bit of twisting, playing with the colors. There's a very big Prague vertical there that is delicate with a plank on top. The oxes look really square, and when an ox is very big and square, maybe 3 poles, it sort of sucks you in. You've got to be very accurate on your delivery, and you know, when 160, 65 is touching, you know, a horse, you have got to have a good horse to do that. And then to repeat that course again, that's what's difficult. That's what we saw last night. You jump it once, and the Ulia Fasani gave them confidence. They jumped like they were off a gymnastic dance mat. It was lovely to see. Second round, to do it again against the clock, it was different. And that's what you have to consider. You know, these are big fences, the time is tight, there's a lot of pressure, and that's what sorts the people out in the end.
I've just seen Peter Fredriksson walk by us with his traditional notepad and pen. Despite being 20-25, he is one of the old school traditionalists that continue to make notes in and around a course walk. Ed, it's easy for us to say, well, Razorback International have been here before. They've done the business. They have the experience, despite Max being slightly younger. But there is something about their winning mentality that cannot be written off. Falconswara earlier to go, but again, there's so much talent there that makes it an easier bet to put some money on. But if I think about Petter, if I think about what the Prague Lions might do in and around this team, if you take a look at the New York Empire lineup as well, it almost makes it very difficult to pick. This is not a traditional lineup, as we said. And the bigger guys, the bigger teams, the more traditional bigger teams, probably aren't feeling as comfortable as maybe they would like to feel coming into a final tonight. Is there opportunity for a so-called non-big three to shoot the lights out here tonight?
Certainly, I don't think you can look at the start list and say there's one team that is heads and shoulders above the others. I think, yes, I would go for Razorback International as the narrow favourites, but it's narrow. The horsepower is outstanding. I mean, New York Empire, yeah, they just scraped through the quarters, but Cordial, Pacino Amiro, Hallo Jefferson is a wonderful horse lineup. Bars and Cosmopolitans, if Napoli can jump the clear round, he hasn't delivered yet this week. We've seen Catalan jump clear in the quarters and the semis for Marlon. And Rodrigo's horse, Corona L's also been in outstanding form. They may rise up, Bars Cosmopolitan. I quite like their chances. But yeah, Valkenswaard United, again, the horsepower is exceptional. I think, yeah, it's too close to cool mark. I wouldn't put my head out on on the sort of, you know, on the guillotine and say who I think's going to win. So I think it's everybody's battle.
I think it is going to be a very intriguing night. And as we pointed out, much like yesterday in the Longines Global Champions to a Super Grand Prix, this is not going to be a normal GCL stage. There are 2 full rounds that need to be competed. This is the opening round. Then, based on performance, the reverse order will come out for that second round. This is James Fisher. This is Ed Holloway. They'll be taking you through the action a little bit later on tonight, calling every single moment of this incredible GCL Super Cup final later tonight. A mention of Basel Cosmopolitans. Let's get some thoughts on the course from Andreas Skau, who will lead his team on Napoli. They are 5th to go. Dan Strange, let's hear from Andreas Skau.
Thanks, Mark. Yep, we're in the arena ahead of round 1 of the GCL Super Cup final. We've got the manager and rider of the debutants, Basel Cosmopolitans, Andreas Skau. Right, Andreas, you've had a look. You've had a walk round, you're walking, looking at the course. What is your overall analysis? Talk us through it.
No, Juliano, for sure, again, today built a really big task. It's a long way. It's a very delicate course, big oxers, big tall verticals, and the fences come seriously quick today. So for sure, a lot of good jumping we're going to see today.
We're just behind number 13, the final fence, just staying out of people's ways. It's very busy in here. He's also put some nice planks just near the in-out gate, which is nice and kind of Juliano, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every horse looks a little bit in this corner, and he knows he can catch people around this. And the arena is spectacular. It's small. It's one of the first indoors for every horse. For my horse, the first indoor of the season. So, of course, when he put these 165 planks into the corners like this, it is just difficult. But yeah, we're gonna do our best.
Napoli's jumping fabulously. Your team have been jumping fabulously. You must be really not only confident but happy with how your team have shaped this week.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, we had Marlon jumping 2 clear rounds for us, which is really, really good. Of course, Almeida coming in last minute and delivering for us as well. I'm the one who needs to deliver a clear round now. I think Napoli, now he had 2 rounds in here. I hope he comes in today and is hopefully a bit more relaxed about jumping indoor, and hopefully we can be the one delivering a clear round today.
And it was Rodrigo's birthday a day or so ago. It'd be a nice birthday present if you guys get on the podium. Do you think that's a realistic aim for tonight?
Definitely. I mean, we're going to jump to win today. I mean, everything from now is a bonus. The big goal was to make this final. So we all know we're going to have a nice check. It's just a matter of how big it is. But we want to win. We want to be on the podium, and we're going to do our best.
Andreas, whatever happens tonight, it's been a phenomenal season. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck to the Basel Cosmopolitans, Mark, who would put it past them springing what would be a little bit of a surprise with it being their debut season and, of course, their debut GCL Super Cup final.
It has been a fantastic season, by the way, for Andreas Skau, and I imagine that the Basel Cosmopolitans, as a newcomer to the GCL in 2025, were to cap it off with even just a podium finish here tonight, it would really go down as a remarkable opening season for a brand new team coming out of Basel. Andreas Skau, Marlon Modono Zanotelli, and as we said, newcomer Rodrigo Almeida comes into the lineup today. A lot of attention, as we mentioned, falling on the shoulders of the Rome Gladiators as well. A difficult GCL season. They finished quite far down the overall championship standings. But so often the theme around the GCL Super Cup is one of redemption. That success at the GC playoffs can turn around a poor season. That could be the case for the Rome Gladiators. If they are successful tonight, all will be forgotten. All will be forgiven. We sat down with the Brazilian Yuri Mansour to get his thoughts on Rome Gladiators' chances.
So, Yuri, you're part of a historic group because you're the first Rome Gladiators team ever to make a GCL Super Cup final. Just give us what that means to you.
Yeah, that means a lot. I'm proud to be part of this team. Obviously, I wasn't in the beginning. I just came from Riyadh. I was in the last call, and I'm really happy that I could help them also to achieve this moment. And but I have to say, it's really nice, strong team there.
Peder Fredriksson also transferred into the team. He came in as a mid-season transfer into the Rome Gladiators. What impact has he had on this group of riders, on this team overall this year?
Yeah, for sure. A guy like Peter influenced a lot, and actually even to the finals we spoke a lot together about the plan, what horse to choose, how we do. So obviously his experience helps a lot and motivate everybody to do the best.
Al Capone de Carmel, his horse, has been flying this season with Pedder. Watching in the GCL Super Cup semi-finals as you would have been, how nerve-wracking was it? Because his round didn't quite go to plan, but you still snuck into the final.
Yeah, and actually it wasn't the plan to use Al Capone. When we planned to come, we spoke about Save Alphonse and Al Capone to the last day. Then they would be fresh, and then we had an extra chance, you know. But unfortunately, his chestnut didn't jump as good as he was expecting the first day, and he didn't want to risk, but actually went a little bit in a different way. Honestly, I thought it was done. I thought we had no chance anymore, and thanks God, everything went to our direction, and we passed to the final.
It's been a bit of a story of redemption for Rome Gladiators, because it was a tough season. They were the last team to podium in the Global Champions League this year. Rome didn't go to plan, you know, on home soil at Circus Maximus. When you look at all that, how then special is it to achieve what you have here after a really difficult season at times where the team have almost had to work through it?
Yeah, first of all, like I said, I was not involved with them until Riyadh, but I felt that it was necessary to move on, and actually the fact that I rode with Gaudiano every time, I promise, gave me a lot of inspiration, because I saw this guy also fighting a lot, and he's Italian, you know, and this spirit. Even yesterday when I was watching I was a bit nervous, my horse was green, and I saw this guy fighting for it, gave me, this is what is nice about this team spirit in that format, you know, really give something extra for us, I think.
What's the strategy for the GCL Super Cup final in terms of horsepower? And also, realistically, what's the aim? What's the goal for Rome Gladiators?
Oh, we're going to win tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. I have this feeling since I decided to come. So everybody was laughing. Even the groom said that we just come to Wednesday, and then I said, no, I don't know. I have this feeling. Let's see tomorrow. But I have deep in my heart that we're going to win tomorrow. The strategy, I think, can work really well, because Alfonso was fantastic. He didn't do one jump all the week. He's just waiting for Sunday. And okay. Peter changed a bit. Maybe Al Capone is a bit tired than should be, but it's a fantastic combination. And the way I'm seeing Gaudiano's horse jumping, for me, he's jumping better every day. So, and like we just spoke, it's completely open for tomorrow. Everything can happen. You know, it's the limit for everybody. You know, it's so high, so difficult. Yeah.
Yuri, to you and to the team, to Rome, let's hope they can take the GCL Super Cup home to Rome. Good luck.
Thank you. Let's do it.
The thoughts of Yuri Mansour, who'll be jumping Alphonse Santo Antonio later on tonight for the Rome Gladiators, powered by Cavalleria Toscana. Are they the outsiders? Are they the dark horse for a GCL Super Cup win here tonight? They'll be second to go just after Falcons-Wart United, who will open up round one with Marcus Eining, with Hans-Dieter Dreyer, and with Gilles Thomas on Hermitage Cologne. After which, the Prague Lions, we heard from Anna-Kel Narova a little bit earlier on. Well, there's plenty of reaction still to come from the Prague Lions, as Darren Dermasoy gives us some thoughts. Dan Strange, let's hear from Darren on the Prague Lions tonight.
Thanks, Mark. We're here with Darren Dermasoy, who, of course, is here supporting Prague Lions, former rider on Istanbul Warriors. Now, Darren, we're right by 5. We're going to move out of Peter de Vos's way so that he doesn't have a go at us, which would be absolutely fair in this scenario. Fence 5 here, big plank just by the in-out gate. Why does it make it difficult for the horses?
First of all, it's huge. It's the last hole, as high as it gets. Thin plank off of the gate. Horses will be distracted out of a short turn. Really need to keep everything organized and on the hind legs to jump it.
Now, we're going to move this way because we're going to walk the line 5 to 6. And the thing I noticed, which I want your clarity on, this isn't just a curving turn. It comes around the corner, and they really have to get the horse together as they come around towards 6, which is a big oxer.
Comes around the corner, and if you're too much on the inside, the global champions oxer gets on your way. So you need to have your bend so that you jump it straight. On the other hand, it's a huge oxer. You need the coverage, but you can't come too forward because it's only 3 poles. It's a fragile fence jumping towards the VIP, so it's as difficult as it can get.
When you've walked the course with all your knowledge, would you relish jumping this, or are you glad you're sitting watching tonight?
we all want to jump it with the right horse, but this year I'm happy I'm not jumping it, and I'm happy my teammates are very, very strong, so we're here to support them.
In terms of the team tonight, the best they've ever finished, Prague Lions, is fourth. They get a huge amount, they've already said this to us, from jumping in front of this, what was a sellout crowd yesterday, 15,000 people. We're hoping it's the same today. How high is the confidence within the team, and what have they said ahead of today?
We're confident. We're going to perform the best we can in front of our home crowd. The crowd's been absolutely amazing the whole week, and today it's also sold out, as I heard. So we're confident to be on the podium today, hopefully.
Darren, thank you so much. I'll let you go back and continue your conversations. Well, there's the news right live from Darren Demesoy of the Prague Lions. It is a sellout again tonight, as it was yesterday here at the O2 Arena. The GCL Super Cup final is not far away. Prague Lions are confident, but as Darren's just said, there are some difficult jumps and some difficult lines to find their way through to see if they can make it onto the podium. Mark, back to you.
So having watched the GCL Super Cup quarter-final to start the week, moving on to the GCL Super Cup semi-final, into the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix that was won by Abdel Said last night. Now ahead of a GCL Super Cup final, all of these different opportunities, all of these different moments for course designer Uliana Vidzani to use the real estate here available in the O2 Arena to try and maximize every turn and every corner to get the most out of these riders. Let's quickly get some reaction from Marcus Ehning from Valkenswaard United, the 2025 GCL season winners. Let's get the thoughts of the veteran.
So Marcus, you look back on the GCL Super Cup semi-final. It wasn't plain sailing for Valkenswaard. Despite winning the championship, Valkenswaard United snuck through in sixth. How do you review the semi-final?
Yeah, first of all, our big goal was to be qualified for the final, and we did it. I think we had 3 good rounds. A course like this with 2 down is still okay. So we survived, and now we try the best for Sunday.
It's a good summary of the overall semi-final because there were a lot of good rounds from a lot of very, very good riders. Were you surprised by the number of faults through the night?
No.
Why do you think Eliano not only made it so difficult, but where did he make it so difficult to an elite rider like yourself?
I think at the end was not the height of the jump, it was more the material, and he had many jumps with short poles. The ring is small, so to catch it in the right way and then really to jump it clear was quite delicate and very difficult. And yeah, if I walked it, I thought this is something special.
So for here this week, in terms of the GCL Super Cup final, you've never won it, Valkenswaard United. Second numerous times, never won it. You're in the final, so that's job one done for the team. Now when you look at that final, when you look at the last 6 teams, what do you feel the chances are for Valkenswaard United, and how, apart from jumping clear, how will you go about winning?
It's not really so much in my mind because we know tomorrow there are really 2 big tough rounds, and at the end it was always the last times also here. You have to do your job and then you can see where you finish up, but you have to be so focused because the jumps are so big and the course is so difficult, so it's not like a walk in the park, and at the end then we hope we are at least on the podium.
You're a team of new stars and living legends yourself, John Whittaker, Hansi as well. What's the plan in terms of the strategy of horses and riders for the GCL Super Cup final for Valkenswaard United?
Yeah, I think tomorrow we have our best horses from the teams in the team. We have 3 horses and riders. They have a lot of experience. They jump many big Grand Prix clear round. So there's a lot of hope, but at the end we also have to do it, and it's like yesterday, it's very quick if you have 1 or 2 down, and then it's getting difficult.
As someone who's achieved so much, and as a team who have such a legacy in the Global Champions League, what would it mean to Valkenswaard United if they actually went and won the GCL Super Cup final?
Yeah, it means a lot, and that's our goal always, that we want to win. We want the all over, and this is now the last step. But like I said before, first we have to focus how we ride, and then we watch where we end up.
Marcus, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
One final hurdle awaits Falconsward United that will make them not only GCL champions but potential GCL Super Cup champions as well. We watched Razorback International do that a few seasons ago, a feat that is very, very difficult to replicate, to duplicate. Is it going to be the night of Falconsward? They will start first out of the 6 teams with their backs against the wall, but with Hans-Dieter Dreyer, Markus Eining and Gilles Thomas, it certainly is possible. The music is pumping around the arena. The sold-out O2 Arena is ready to go, and we are ready to go. With 10 million on the line, the final night of the 2025 season. This, folks, this tonight, here, now, starts the 2025 GCL Super Cup Final. Welcome to Prague.